We have put one issue on the back burner for far too long, and that burner is cranked up to 10. Soon this issue will boil over, scorch the world as we know it, and show all life its great demise. Before now, the conceived downfall of humanity was atomic warfare that would lead us to our fate. That our own hate over our fellow inhabitants of the earth would be our undoing. The Oppenheimer quote, "I have become death, the destroyer of worlds," comes to mind. Well, collectively, we have become death, scarily close to destroying our planet. The imminent danger spoken of is the issue of climate change. The relevancy and urgency of the issue should not be overlooked, as the reasons to solve this problem are immense. The climate change issue has arisen in recent decades as scientists have gathered disturbing data confirming the existence of global warming due to human endeavors, notably the high amounts of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. Legendary climatologist, physicist, and author Dr. Joseph Romm speaks for the entire scientific community in his book Climate Change: What Everyone Needs to Know, when saying that they are as positive that humans are responsible for most recent climate change as doctors are agreed that cigarettes are harmful for the human body. However, climate change is more than just a stigmatized phrase in society, as it comes with a nasty set of side effects, such as increased storm strength and frequency, melting of ice caps, and many indirect effects. Romm claims that climate change will have a bigger impact on your family than the internet has had. The widely agreed upon amount of heating that civilization must limit itself to is below 2 degrees Celsius to avoid large-scale habitat loss and ecological tipping points that are irreversible. The IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, requests that we lower our emissions by 45% from 2010 to 2030. That being said, we're halfway there. We've only gone up. But why should we care? The most tangible reason why climate change needs to be addressed is because of direct effects of global warming. Large-scale global warming means the melting of the Greenland and Antarctic ice sheets, which are already well underway in their thawing process. Romm states that the Greenland ice sheet covers an area almost the size of Mexico. And if it were to thaw completely, sea levels would rise more than 20 feet. The Antarctic ice sheet is larger than the US, housing 90% of the Earth's ice. And if it were to raise completely, it would mean increased sea levels of 200 feet. With the pace that we're moving at, this ecological tipping point will be met by the end of the century. That means LA, New York, San Antonio, San Diego, New Orleans, San Francisco, most of Florida. It will all be submerged in flooded water in your lifetime. Also, global warming acts as an amplifier to many catastrophic extreme weather patterns. We've already spoken of flooding, but simply the wet areas of the earth are becoming wetter as a result of the added water water vapor into the atmosphere. That water vapor into the atmosphere will fuel snowstorms to become heavier in regions where snowfall is already an issue, just as regions that are already hurricane prone are at risk for more frequent and severe supercells, because hurricanes, as Romm states, draw their strength from ocean warmth. Katrina level hurricanes will happen once every few years. We can expect longer and hotter heat waves. These scorched areas, of course, make it easy for wildfires to start and spread and grow, such as the insanely destructive wildfires that we've seen along the West Coast in recent years. These are a few of just the direct reasons what global warming has to offer, right? The more indirect ways, however, It's because of the changes in precipitation and climate. Harvest rates have been dropping every year around the world. This consequently destabilizes markets and causes the competition for limited resources to grow. Prices at your local supermarket for foods are going to skyrocket and world hunger will grow. In developing countries, competition and hunger mean war. Refugees fleeing from conflict instigated by these problems, not mentioned to those removed from their homes caused by natural disasters, means many displaced people across the world. This means infrastructure, foreign policy, and economic developments that are going to hit very soon. All these reasons are why climate change is a big problem remedying, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. Hopefully we are able to persevere, but there are some obstacles in our way. The United States is responsible for 15% of greenhouse gas emissions, as the EPA states, and we are incredibly dependent on our fossil fuels industry. Therefore, we are also responsible for a difficult transition to clean energy production. The main obstacle is that a shift would mean immense amount of funding from the feds and policies and whatnot, we also need a willingness of privatized fossil fuels industries and a capitalist economy to transition to a not so lucrative form of clean energy industry. On a national level, we have recently entertained the proposition of President Biden's American Jobs Plan. In this plan, the president is calling on Congress to invest $35 billion in the full range of solutions needed to achieve technology breakthroughs while also supplying jobs. However, this problem, it can't just be fixed alone. So Biden's executive order to re-enter the Paris Climate Agreement, it was very game-changing. Among other things, the agreement outlines a common goal of nations to hold the increase in global average temperatures to below 2 degrees Celsius. By policymaking on a local level, we can overcome our obstacles and promote the process towards a net zero carbon future. By organizing our goals and establishing the urgency of the issue with other nations, we can escape the hole that we have put ourselves in. For the consequences of us failing are very dire. Oh my 8 minutes.